For the people that don't know, you're RASS KASS, and obviously a hip hop legend. How many projects have you put out?
Oh man, let's see. Shit. Now, man, my first project came out in '96, so I'm what they technically call like legacy artist now, which is crazy. So I haven't even counted, but I would say at least by now, probably 20, 15, something like that. As far as with the record company, I was signed to Priority Records, which eventually got bought by Capitol Records, the round building that you always see in movies when, as a landmark of the West Coast. With the company, I had 2 albums that did come out, 2 albums that didn't come out. And then I sued. So while I was in litigation, just to get fired from 2002 to like 2010 or 11. But I still put out music. I put out projects still, so I've just always worked. But I would guess, honestly, just to answer your question, probably, yeah, I don't know, shit, 17.
Nice.
That's a catalog, my friend. So
Yes,
I've been watching you this last year. How did this Four Horsemen project come about? That's a project, my friend.
COVID, to be honest. We've always, for those that don't know, the Horsemen is basically we were Slaughterhouse before Slaughterhouse. Those are our brothers, but we were like the first super group, like somebody out of Corrupt. It was me. It is me, Corrupt, Killer Priest, Cannabis. Cannabis coming out of, he was really out of the Fugees camp. Corrupt, obviously, Snoop Dogg, Dog Pound, and Killer Priest, Wu-Tang, and my affiliation, loosely connected. You would still think Exhibit and Dr. Dre or whatever. So yeah, it was kind of like a clique of like-minded MCs that were lyrical, 2 from the East, 2 from the West, and connecting on some MC shit and kind of gluing all our cliques together. So yeah, man, that was the reason why it happened was because of COVID. We tried to do it ever since 2000. We tried to put out a project and either it would get bootlegged or just something would happen to derail what we were trying to do. It's really hard to be in a group. And
in the way, huh? Sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, we never got, like, every time people thought they heard something, it was that stuff that even came out was unmixed, unmastered. It was never finished. We never could get none finished because either somebody's managing or something, it would get derailed and then it'd get bootlegged. So and then life came in, everybody's solo artist or, if Snoop Dogg called and talking about a world tour, shit, if I was Corrupt, I'd leave too. Like, he'd be gone for a year. Like, I'm going with Dog. So we just never could get it done until COVID sat everybody down. And I was going through my hard drive, and, I had a folder just said Horsemen, and I hadn't listened to it in years. And when I opened it up, I just saw this incomplete stuff. So it gave me some time to look at these songs that, either the beat was dated or, don't kill a priest on this song, or Corrupt did a hook, but there ain't no verses. So I was able to kind of put together all this stuff that we already have from the past 10 years at least. And then it was kind of cool to be able to show them what we had. And then to say let's complete this. And then everybody got in where they fit in and completed, the thing that didn't have Corrupt. Corrupt was able to do his verse on this, or Cannabis was able to, say this intro, whatever. So we just put it together that way, man. And it was dope. Just, again, our homie Slaughterhouse was able to keep it together and at least put out 2 or 3 albums. And we started our group before them. So I felt like there was no excuse for us to not be able to at least do one, so salute to Slaughterhouse for really, for executing and showing us it could be done. And that was just the inspiration to finish what we started and at least get one done. And no, it was dope, just to get the feedback from, from different MCs and artists. It was dope to hear Snoop Dogg say it was dope. Like it was dope for DJ Quick to tell me personally, like, I'm doing something on the next Horsemen. Like, oh, dope. That's what I wanted, it to be a collective, this thing with it really where hip hop came together, like this street where, whatever, the Aftermath or the Dog Pound and the Wu-Tang and the all of the DJ Premier and just where hip hop and East and West and all these different cliques could come together and make something dope, and including Slaughterhouse and all these other homies we got to glue that together. So that's the goal. And winning, if we do the second one, I think is going to really be even a better example of that.
You guys even got Big Chino up XL up on that.
My brother, and he's an asshole. He just destroyed the whole album, man. He's the beast. Yeah, man. Yeah, but that's my brother, man. Chino went ridiculous.
Back to Denver. You guys came to Herman's Hideaway and rocked that album.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
To that shit. You got another question for this gentleman, my friend?
Yeah. I was wondering, how do you feel about the current state of hip hop on the West Coast?
Ah, man, I've never really changed my mind about that. Like, it is what it is. There's always dope people making dope stuff, and there's always some commercial stuff that might be getting too much attention. There's always somebody dope being overlooked. There's always somebody that's overrated. But in general, hip hop is fine. If you like quality hip hop, I just encourage people to support it. That's always been, kind of a thing. People would complain about whoever it was, Vanilla Ice or whatever, because the commercial stuff got more support, more awareness, or was more popular. So that's the state of hip hop always stays the same. The state of hip hop is the state of honestly, the state of hip hop is the state of Black music always. Black people made rock and roll, jazz, gospel, country, western, and then people adapt to it and like it and support it, which is cool. But sometimes white people, Black people get pushed out of it, and then we don't get no credit for it.
Gotcha.
It's happened many times. Even with my Latino friends, I used to have a joke, and I used to say, "Who the fuck is Tone? Reggaeton? Like, who the fuck is Tony? Who's this Tony nigga, bro? Nigga, you sing it in Spanish. It's congas. That's an African instrument. This shit is fucking reggae. It's Spanish reggae, nigga. So fuck Tony and just be what it is. Be inclusive instead of trying to knock the niggas out of this shit." And so that's the state of hip hop. Niggas always trying to kick niggas out of it.
It seems like, there's so many different variety of sounds on the West Coast, and it's always changing and different, but they come in patterns where it's like hyphies for 10 years here and then different stuff here and there. But the hip hop seemed to stay strong throughout, the whole 2000s.
Yeah, definitely.
The fan base seems to stay pretty loyal as well, I guess, to the hip hop.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of people keeping that culture going. And that a lot of times people they think of LA as like this one unilateral animal that we all look like, whatever. like we all just look like Blueface, and that's just who we are. And I'm like, man, you know, people in the family are unique and different, let alone people in the neighborhood, let alone people on the whole coast. So I love all of the different variety of hip hop, especially West Coast hip hop. You know, you got people like Freestyle Fellowship and their whole movement, and even within their clique of stuff, they have, you know, people like Two Max and the, you know, the Rifleman, like, and like, you know, it's like literally there's some genres of like, you know, what you might call like really artistic jazz related, because they do a lot of double time rhyming and really fast and artistic. You get people more, you know, more street, but still lyrical, you know, and that's kind of where you get the Kendricks and shit like that. And, you know, just it's so much diversity, man. So you know, LA's always been like that, even if it didn't get reported that it was all this different kinds of interpretations and various hip hop. But I hope people continue to support. It's a lot of talented people. I mean, but you know, you guys coming from, you know, from Denver, there's dope people everywhere, man. There's people doing dope shit, dope producers, dope MCs. And a lot of people just need an opportunity to be heard and supported.
Denver seems to really love the golden era. They bring out you guys, Chino XL, EPMD. That's why we're doing the show, the older heads. We respect the younger music, you know, but this is what we grew up to. This is what we relate to. We're giving you your flowers while you're still here, my friend.
Yes, sir.
That.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let me ask you this. Growing up, who was some of your idols, artists you looked up to coming up in the game?
My honestly, I'll start trying to list people, but I'm gonna forget so many people because everybody. I was a real, you know, I always say, you know, you gotta be a fan first. I think, you know, I bet you if you ask Michael Phelps, he gonna tell you all the different swimmers. Or if you ask, what's the homie name? I can't think of his name. The Portuguese dude that plays soccer. But whatever, you start as a fan first. You got to be that kid looking at somebody do it nice, to study them to get dope, because you want to keep learning. But it's so many people that I learned from. My foundation, I would say KRS-One is of somebody who I personally, I intentionally wanted to be like KRS-One. Lots of people influenced me, but KRS-One probably the most, not probably the most, is the most influential to me, because he was doing dates, he was doing history, and that was something nobody ever really was doing. People, you know, people talk about the condition of the ghetto, or the condition of poor people, or the condition of Black people, or what was wrong in America, the civil rights part of it. But nobody did the history and, you know, saying like these people invented this and these people did this. So KRS-One is my favorite. And then he had a big vocabulary, and I grew up, my parents just got a big vocabulary. They just articulate ass people. So even in my raps, I was articulate when I was little. Just in life, I just always had vocabulary. And I remember, you know, when I was like 7 or 8, my friends asked me why I use big words and why. So, and not that I wasn't trying to, I just had, shit, I was just because my parents, and I didn't know I did that until the homies, just my peers, my friends and watch was like, Baby John, why you using big words? I was like, I don't know, nigga. And then I just kept on and kept talking, because nigga, that's how I talk. But yeah, of course, KRS-One, and from there, you could literally, if it came out in 90, and if it came out between 89 and fucking 95, I probably liked it, man. The Redmans, the Tupacs, the the Nas's, the the De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, Rakim, just so many dope people.
Everybody you just said is still going, touring, making music.
Mm-hmm.
This day.
Yeah, man. That's the amazing thing is that, but again, that's very unique in hip hop. Like people started, like it wasn't even people. I think it was the corporations, the record companies. Nobody told Dolly Parton like, "Oh, your titties is too big. You're too old to not sing." Like that's just stupid. So all that trying to tell people what's old and what ain't relevant is corny because nobody does that to rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? That makes it even more classic. You know what I'm saying? These people that made these songs. So they don't do that in rock and roll. They don't do it in country western. They don't do it in R&B. They only started trying to do that shit again when it comes to, urban, and even calling it urban really just mean, brown people, brown and black people. That's and poor people. Oh, the urban, the poor. Like, fuck you. So I don't even like that urban shit. It's just really, end of the day, it's amazing. Hip hop re-energized rock and roll. It's really kind of is the foundation of EDM. It fucking remade R&B, remade rock, even country western. They use break beats, sampling breaks and shit sometimes. So we changed all the music, and it really deserves a lot more respect. And we are the biggest brand overall. The brand hip hop rap is the biggest of all of the music genres around the world, and and that's a lot to say for some, the salute to. I'm very appreciative to those pioneers in New York and whatever, 40, 50 years ago that didn't have shit and made something that changed the world and changed my life personally. Super dope.
Super dope.
Hey, yeah, that's pretty dope. How do you feel about the state of the West Coast battle rap scene and how far it's came and how good it's gotten? But it's kind of, since COVID hit, kind of flattened out a little bit.
Yeah, man, that's I'm a big fan of the whole battle scene period. Me coming from battles, before there were leagues, it was just more neighborhood or a producer that believed in you, and and then as you traveled and had to do shows or promo shit, and then you started meeting all the other dope MCs. So it wasn't as organized and like these rehearsed set up battles that we have now, which are a whole different monster. Like it's very, very it's a different machine. Like it's dope. Like they have to rehearse these 5 minutes with they know every part of what they're gonna do. They have to research the person. So I love it. I think it's dope, specifically on the West Coast. I think battle rap, when we have organized battle rap, these battle leagues, they are responsible for even making young kids care about, and chicks, they made the new generation care about bars again, because they was way off not giving a fuck about what you said. So I'm very grateful to the battle league. Like that, if it wasn't for the battle league, bars wouldn't matter at all. They made the new motherfuckers, the younger motherfuckers, realize like, yo, what he say matter, not just this beat and how it dropped. Like the bars gotta matter. And so I salute him and respect him.
So yeah, once it started getting big, and like you said, it went just from like freestyle battles to angles and rehearsing, and then when Cannabis came in with Disaster and stuff like that, that kind of brought forward that it was kind of, up there with the rest of them. Those dudes are pretty good, pretty smart at the shit they say and stuff.
Oh yeah, they say some amazing, like just first of all, just remembering those, that's like remembering a play or something. I couldn't remember a play and go do, that's like 2 15-minute, two 15-minute plays. I'm doing my play, I do my lines, but the whole 5-minute dialogue and having to know what you say, that shit's crazy. Like people don't understand that's a different machine to have to remember all these. And then sometimes some of them they'll integrate freestyles because they respond to the last thing the dude said. So now you got to come up You got to be able to freestyle off the top of your dome, plus add that into your written. Like, those are different jobs. It's a different machine, man. I'm a big fan. I respect it.
Do you think that the battle rap rappers translate good when they make normal songs on beats?
Not necessarily. Different machine. But see, I don't judge Michael Jordan on, how fast he swim. You know what I'm saying? I don't judge whatever. I don't judge LeBron on what he do with a baseball bat. So it's a different sport, and you got to understand it's all athletic. It's all, part of being an athlete. It's all part of the same Olympics, but it's a different sport. High diving ain't synchronized swimming. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when what you got to understand is when you're doing those, doing in a battle league, no tempo. So now those same things may not fit into a beat. Now you created a new box for a battle rapper. So a lot of them, because they know how to, set up these lines, they have enough time. A lot of times they're like, hold up, because they want you to catch these lines. So you set it up. You can't do that on a beat. So a lot of, we know for a fact it's hard for a lot of really dope ass battle league MCs to understand the sport of making a record. But
right.
Same thing. I mean, you called it. You said Cannabis and Disaster. I know both of those fellas. If it would have been, Cannabis versus Disaster making a song, different sport.
Yeah.
So the advantage in going to a battle rap league was for Disaster. The advantage if it was making them diss song would have been Cannabis. It's just different sport. They both amazing at what they do. It's just whoever. I mean, yeah. I'd rather play baseball against Floyd Mayweather than box against him.
Yeah.
I got a shot.
And that makes a lot
That's
of sense.
how I found out about you in the 90s. You were on Sway and Tech, and you were freestyling with Chino and a couple other dudes back in the day. Talk to me about that.
Oh, yeah, that was Gladiator School. So
Whew.
we, the best of the best, the Jay-Z's, the Biggie, the Chinos, the Eminems, the everybody, we went there to prove there wasn't no morning radio show. You wasn't getting on the morning show, like, for real. So the only show outlet in LA, and we the second biggest market in the country, was Sway and Tech, period. So whoever you was that Friday, I think, or that Saturday at 12 midnight, you had to show up and come get busy to even get an opportunity to be heard in the second biggest city in America. And so everybody was there. It was Gladiator School, and it was, they had a platform where up and coming people could try to get heard, and we was trying to get heard, all of us, and people got burnt. And if you never got called back, you knew why, because you got white. Got why. So we was in there going crazy those years, man. The Tech Nines, everybody. Like, you had to go in there and get busy. And yeah, man, we was deadly. That's all I can say, man. We was hungry, we was deadly. It was different. We still rhymed on beats. We did battle raps, and some of ours was rehearsed and some of them wasn't. And it was a different sport. So even with, in our era, before the leagues, you still rapped on a beat. So it ain't, they didn't want you to just acapella. They want you to rhyme over these beats, and you don't know what kind of beats you're gonna get, but you gotta go. And then the other part was, especially back then, I was very good at remembering. I could break my rhymes up. I could freestyle also, so what we call off the top of the dome, where it's not written. It's literally just what's happening, freestyling that, like real freestyle, and then going back into writtens. So and make it seamless. So that was part of the goal. So we was doing, a lot of us, well, maybe not a lot of us, but the most deadliest of us were the ones that could freestyle for 16 bars, then go into a written, then come out of the written back to some freestyle and go back into. So we just go back and forth and gun and stay on beat. And so yeah, it was great, man. That was I love Gladiator School. I'm glad that there are some documentations of some of the, some of my finer moments. It was fun, man.
Yes, sir. Those rhyme and reason days, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So when they set up your verses, who are they going to set you up against? I know you're on this verse thing on Instagram.
For me, verses is ultimately having comparable artists. There's a lot of, I don't know, man. Honestly, I wouldn't give a shit because I don't have a hit record. I've never had a hit record. So I kind of got a Jadakiss it and just go bars. I got bars. I'll go do Nature the Threat. I mean, what? Nobody comes back from that. But as far as having these songs that like all the girls know or whatever, I didn't have a career like that. My company was incapable of making any. I'm a kid before Eminem and with Dr. Dre, and they couldn't make a hit. So I had a very whack company. So I don't have those hit records. I just don't. I'm not crying about it, but versus is usually it tends to be people with the same, starting around the same time with the same kind of hits.
Gotcha.
I don't have those kind of hits, so technically it doesn't matter who you put me with. If we just doing who got hit songs, then I don't play that sport. I'm playing the sport of, I'll bar you out.
Gotcha.
I have a different sport. Again, like I was saying, like, Messi is, soccer, and the next word, Usain Bolt is running. They still both use their feet, but it's a different sport. So maybe, whatever the sport is, socio-political, lyrical, street rap, hip hop, I'm there. If you talk about who got the most catchy jingle and in the song with the R&B girl, I don't have a whole bunch of those. So I'm not playing that sport.
Would you ever put up the Horsemen against the Slaughterhouse?
People have said that, and I think that that's a collective. Of course, I think that'd be super fun. That'd be fucking hilarious. I think it'd be dope. And that's brothers anyway, but on some. I mean, shit. Honestly, Rupp got hits. I do shows with him. That motherfucker Corrupt is on like 10, at least 7 hit songs. That, you know what I'm saying? It's just la da 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 da. This is the motherfucker da da da. He just do that part that go crazy. So Snoop Dogg, like that got on hits. So yeah, but I think it'd be fun for the culture, and then we were just doing. But then Crook, as far as bars, then you talk about everybody's fairly, it's fair. Everybody can rhyme good. And then now you talk about who got, because then Royce got hits. He got all that Eminem shit. So that'd be fun. I think that'd be awesome, to be honest. That'd be kind of super dope.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah. That'd be great for hip hop.
Yeah, and definitely for the culture. And plus, it's just like when Too Short and E40 did it. They ain't beefing or nothing. They're homies, and it worked way a lot better like that.
Oh yeah, and they really enjoyed it together. They had a good time. It was dope.
DMX, Snoop Dogg, that was a really good one.
That was really good too. Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I just thought it was needed at the time. The 4 Horsemen album dropped. I'm a huge Cannabis fan. His album just dropped. If you peeped his new album out,
Kaiju, of course. I mean, I can say one of the nice byproducts of doing the Horsemen album is I connected cannabis back with M80, and that's, you know, cannabis and quit rapping. So, you know, indirectly, you know, we energized and motivated him to want to get back to the culture. So that's one of the one thing, you know, that's one of the things that on the low, that's what RASS KASS did as exec producer, me and M80, along with, you know, Fat Beat Records, we brought cannabis out of retirement. So that's dope. We did something good for hip hop, I think.
Super dope.
Yeah.
So at this point in your career, who would you really like to work with? Like your dream artist, if you could pick up the phone right now and let's do this.
People always, I swear to God, man, my big homie Wino called me yesterday, and like they were all, him and Corrupt and all them were together, and he was, you know, pumping me up, and and just because they were being competitive, whatever, and I kept giving Corrupt his roses, and he's like, "You being all political," and I'm like, "Bro, Corrupt is Corrupt, and you," but again, I'm not trying to be political. I'm a fan of a lot of people, man. I just listen to dope shit. Sometimes I don't even know who the artist is. If I just hear it, wherever I'm at, I'll just, you know, I'll find out like what is that? Who is that? And then I'll fuck with it. I'll go buy it and go listen to it because I liked it. But there's nobody in particular, bro. Like, I just like dope shit because you get different. We're all different ingredients, you know what I'm saying? So when you get that different ingredient with my ingredient, we make something else. You know, I always give the analogy of, you know, you get hydrogen and you get oxygen, but if you get 2 hydrogens and an oxygen, then you get water. But if you get 3 hydrogens, that's some other shit. You know what I'm saying? You get 1 hydrogen, 2 oxygens, that's some other shit. So I'm not tripping off the other element. I know what I am. And if I get another dope element, then we'll make something else, you know. But and ain't nobody in particular. I bring a lot to the table, bro, and I'm not dead yet, and we don't know what the future holds. So I feel like niggas need to be worried, you know, need to hope to do a record with me. Just keep it a buck.
So RASS KASS, System of the Down, taking it back to the Anthrax EPMD era.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, is there still friction with you in the game?
I don't fuck with dude. I'm cool.
What would be your Mount Rushmore of hip hop or rap in general?
Mount Rushmore. Damn, man.
Got some good ones.
This is gonna be awkward too, but I'm gonna try to answer that.
It could be a 5 piece.
For me, it'd be KRS-One, Ice Cube, damn, four people, so fucked up. Shit. KRS-One, Ice Cube. I gotta give Nas his, man. Gotta give Nas his. Somebody fundamentally just ill. Another one. I should. Me, nigga, fuck it.
Self-confidence, you gotta love it. Because you know, Nas dropped 2 albums this year. He normally takes about 5 years apart. He's been rapping hard this last year.
Yeah. I thought the part 2 was ill. I thought he had a couple jewels on the Magic one, but I like King's Disease too. You know, I just felt like they figured out the right combination, the right productions between him and Hit Boy. So yeah, man. Yeah, and it's slowly Nas has been doing some shit, like bought his first Grammy and all this other stuff. So it's interesting to watch it. Okay. Yeah.
So you got anything you want to talk about? Music? When you gonna write your book? What's going on?
I need to write. I'm writing the book now. I think the only thing I want to let people know is, we got plans for this year. It's 2022. We are trying to finish up the project. We have a project called The Gutter. Collectively, it's me, RJ Payne from Philly, and Havoc from Mobb Deep. So Havoc is doing all the production. We almost finished with that record. The Gutter. Shouts out to everybody that's so far a part of it. Can never replace Mobb Deep, but what we wanted to do is have that music that's the soundtrack of a Mobb Deep album, because Havoc produces all that shit, and then to just keep it on some gully, grimy shit. Not have another Queens MC, to have one East Coast MC and the West Coast perspective. So it's coming out really dope. Shouts out to, Fame from MOP, Method Man, Jadakiss, like everybody that's a part of this album so far, and the people that we're planning to get on it. I want people to be looking forward to that shit, this gutter shit. We really trying to fuck something up 2022.
That's dope. Thank you for that sneak peek. You can never replace Prodigy. It's like Royce going over there with DJ Premier. You can't replace Gangstar, but all that time,
right.
You got to use some different people.
Right. Yeah. And that was the whole goal. Like, it was, you don't want Premier not to have an MC that he could rhyme with and to give homage to Guru. So it's dope that for what Royce did. And I think in that same sense, that's what we're trying to do with the Gutter shit, is an homage to Prodigy, because it never can't duplicate, and we ain't even trying to duplicate. We just want to channel that energy and give him some love and make sure we keep creating that kind of music, because that void was not being filled. So yeah, man, we doing it. The Gutter. You will hear music soon, and amongst other things that we working on. You know what I mean? I got some shit in the chamber, man, and again, I'm grateful for people that fucked with the Horsemen shit. That was one of my first executive productions. So even on the CDs and stuff, it says Create Corporations is my company, and it's another part of what I want to do is like more of the Dr. Dre part of it, of just having a vision, trying to put the records together, is what I really enjoy doing. So that's what we're doing again.
I respect that. It's like you get older, you still want to be part of the game, but it's sometimes, you let different people shine, but I'll play the background, I just want to be part of it. Like I said, people like you, your shine. This is an honor to interview you. I've been a fan a long time. We're interviewing you, but I'm coming as a fan as well.
I appreciate you.
We definitely got to get you out to Colorado. I book shows as well. Like I said, I'm trying to do it all. Or we'll get you back out to Herman's or something.
The Hideaway, huh? Yeah, man. Let me know.
We like 420. We like the real hip hop. That's why we fuck with you.
Man, appreciate you.
My dog. You got anything else?
Yeah, much love. Only thing else I wanted to ask is, who do you think is next up, the next youngster up that follows the game plan, that follows the...
That's a good question, man. Like, this is such a weird... Who gets popular when nowadays is a hard tell, man. It just because everything is so social media, Spotify based. I don't know. And then don't necessarily, it may not be a youngster. That's the weird part. I mean, it literally is almost like the luck of the algorithm about who picks up on something. Like, I haven't figured this shit out. Before I could tell you, yeah, he's talented, she's talented, they have this team and this system and this, they're probably going to lead to their success. Now, I don't know, man. Like, if somebody does something stupid as fuck, they'll become super popular. So it just depends who's willing to do the stupid shit, who's gonna have a sex tape, who's gonna pull a dick out, who might suck a dick and get popular, who might snitch and get popular, who might die and get popular. I don't fucking know, bro.
But that's how we were talking. There's people like yourself, Mobb Deep, Wu-Tang. have hits, catalogs. Then you got a little fuckboy like Tekashi. I seen it from day one. People were warning him. We all seen the wall coming. And it's just a moment in time, you know, and then they're gone. You know, you have longevity and do it right, like this man said, so you're respected and have a career.
Right. And you know, that's the interesting thing. I can't call it because the avenues to get popular have changed. Like, all you gotta do is do some fuck shit and you can win. At the end of the day, Tekashi did get a bag. They gave him a bag coming out of prison to snitch and tell people he was a snitch. That was crazy. You know, it just didn't happen like that up until, you know, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's just why things did change, you know, from the even cassettes, CDs, before you know it, it's just YouTube likes and views.
Yeah, man. And the more things change, the more they stay the same. People, you know, because ironically in Europe, people buying vinyls again, buying CDs. Niggas got digital tape players. So it's funny. You just got to kind of, for me, I'm watching the world as opposed. Sometimes we get wrapped up in watching the West Coast or what America thinks. America's, you know, not the very influential place. Obviously, we are super influential, but we're not the end all be all. Like pesos spend, like pesos is money and euros is money and yen is money. So sometimes I'm just like, you know, I'm gonna go where they give me some shit that's still turning to money. Pounds turn into money in London, bro. That shit turns into dollar. You convert it and it's paper. So,
well, I saw R.A. the Rugged Man and Cannabis put out cassettes. They were sold out in a couple days. So sometimes people just want them as collectibles, souvenirs.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Never even play it.
But yeah, some people don't play it, but some people actually have turned. I know girls now, like in Australia, pretty bitches, like not no old chick, like 24, 21, like bad bitches with turntables and cassette. Like I fucking with the culture. So, you know, America might be a little bit backwards right now. We may be a little slow. People are kind of coming back towards appreciating the skills and loving the culture. And I hope it keeps growing towards that. And I hope we stop rewarding snitches and, you know, and you know, a lot of the clown shit that's going on. I hope we start rewarding bars and people that bring something to the culture aside from snitching and over gangbanging when they cowards. I think that's just a whack.
Just being real, like the 90s, how you kind of had to be vouched for somebody. Jada came in the game because Biggie said this dude's nice. He just didn't buy an Instagram page and, you know, buy 1,000 views, and now he's got a CD out. It's just a different era. But then it helps you in a way too, because a kid in Iowa or Nebraska or Russia can buy your album that might not have ever heard of you now. With the I'm never bad at the tool. You know, you can only be bad, like the Instagram and all these things are tools. You know, again, a gun is a tool. It's not the gun ain't naturally bad or good. I could take the gun and hunt us some food, or I could take the gun and pop you in the head and steal your house. So the gun ain't bad. You know, it's the person that uses the tool. Same thing with social media. It's not, you can't blame social media. It's what people do with the tool. Anything else? Dude, I think that's it. Honestly, my friend, like I said, I'm going to talk to you about bringing you out for a show. We've talked in the past. Let's make something happen.
No doubt. Okay, and then just what were we talking? Did you hit me through IG, right? Through the DM?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, cool. I'll just if you want, I'll send you the PayPal.
Yeah, after that, we'll talk. Yeah, I really appreciate your time, OG. If you want to send us over some music, we'll get it playing. Like I said,
I got you. Yeah.
Episode, much respect, dog.
Got you. All right, you guys, one love. Appreciate you.
Right on, Razzie. Peace, my dog.
Peace.
How do you stop that? Dude, I was impressed.